This movie honestly gave me a little bit of PTSD because I've had women in the past tell me that they enjoy watching me sleep. Don't ever tell a man that. And we are talking spoilers, so if you have not watched this movie yet, come back later. Obsession is a movie that caught me completely by surprise, and it's one of those rare films where I haven't seen a person say a single negative thing about it. The basic concept of this movie is guy likes girl, but girl doesn't like guy. So the guy finds an item that grants him a wish. Obviously, he wishes that the woman that he likes will fall madly in love with him, and things go wrong. This isn't a new concept. We've seen this concept done a million times in movies and TV shows, but the way that they execute it is really, really good. I was locked in from the very beginning because watching this movie, it's hard not to feel for these characters. Like, even the main character, I saw pieces of my younger self in him, even though he was acting like a little bitch in this movie. And this movie should have been like 20 minutes long if he would have just spoke up in the first place. But every guy has been there. Every guy has been in love with a woman that didn't love him back. You watch this and you feel terrible for the girl Nikki because she didn't ask for any of this. And then you have this movie that has genuine creepy moments that make you feel uncomfortable. And I love almost everything about this film. Michael Johnston plays the simp named Bear, and I don't know how to pronounce her name, but this beautiful queen plays Nikki, and both of them were amazing. To my knowledge, this is the first time that I've seen both of them in anything. I mean, this is a smaller movie. I believe they made this for less than $1 million. And I think this past weekend, they just crossed 100 million, which is crazy. But I love both of their performances, and I do hope that I see both of them in more projects in the future. Long story short, so Bear is friends with Nikki. He likes Nikki, and he wants to tell her how he feels, but he feels like he's in a friend zone and that she doesn't feel the same way. He then makes a wish that she will fall in love with him by using a mysterious item he bought at a magic store. One thing they did in this film that I really love is that usually in these types of movies or TV shows, the person does something, they go home, they go to sleep, they sleep on it, they wake up, and then things are kind of weird. In this movie, they do it immediately. The acting in this movie is off the charts. Like, it's clearly something wrong with Nikki. She's acting weird. She's having all these random mood swings, scaring the hoes, but then she tries to play it off and say, oh, I'm sorry. Last night I was high off Molly. It's multiple moments in this movie where her character is acting very weird, and then she has these random outbursts where she kind of snaps out of it, and then you realize later in the movie that that's actually the real Nikki showing flashes of herself. And the way that they executed that was really creepy. Her character becomes obsessed with him. She wants him to be around all the time. She wants him to love her. She's lying about her dad having cancer, so he feels sorry for her. If you just saw this girl out and about, you would think she's crazy. I know it sounds corny, but this movie had so many jaw-dropping and edge-of-your-seat moments, and my theater was pretty packed, and I'm seeing this movie late. I'm seeing this a week after it came out. That's why this review was so late. But my theater was pretty packed. The theater reactions made this movie even so much better. It's so many subtle, creepy moments in this movie. Like the scene where Nikki is in the background and she's just staring at Ian and Bear as they talk in a music store. The scene where Bear goes to work and then she's just sitting there with that smile on her face and then she starts peeing on herself. The scene at Boys Night where they're playing drunk Jenga. Great game, by the way. But that scene, she was in there tweaking. Another thing that I loved about this movie is the way that they used lighting and the subtle things they did. It was a scene, I believe, the night after Bear made the wish where she showed up and she was like, oh, I'm sorry, I was on Molly. But during that scene when she's on the front porch, her entire body is covered in shadows and you can't really see her. But the only things that you can see is two white dots in the middle of her eyes. Now, I'm not the best at symbolism. When I was in English class, that was never my thing. Like, oh, this is what this means. But to me, what I gathered from that was all the shadow just represented that this is not Nikki, this is not the real Nikki, and the two white dots probably represented the little bit of her that's still in there. Maybe that's a reach. That's what I gathered. Probably my favorite scene was the scene at night where Bear was trying to sleep and then he wakes up and you're trying to find out where Nikki is, and Nikki is just kind of in the corner and you can't really see her, and then she pops out and she says, I'm watching you sleep. That scene is creepy as hell. Like I said, and I'm being dead serious. I've had multiple women in my life telling me that they enjoy watching me sleep. Don't ever tell a man that. That's creepy as hell. But that scene, the way that she was moving and stuff like that, that entire scene, creepy as hell. It was a lot of scenes and moments in this movie that made me feel real uncomfortable. Like, this is a very dark film. Like, I don't know if this is a stretch. I don't know if this is a reach, but I saw somebody online say this. During that same scene where Nikki was watching Bear sleep, it was a point where she's moving weird and then she randomly goes off camera and she comes back and she's holding a vase. When I was watching this, I was like, why would she just randomly grab that item? The person online said maybe that was the real Nikki showing flashes, and maybe she had a moment where she snapped out of it for a second and she grabbed that vase to potentially either kill herself or try to kill Bear. I don't know, but the thought of that really messed up. This is such a messed up movie, especially after watching it and you go back and you think about certain things and why they happened and you start to put two and two together. This is a really messed up film, and it's hard not to feel bad for everyone involved in this movie outside of Bear. He's rotting in hell. But after the movie was over, when people was leaving the theater, it was an old woman. She looked like she was like 70 years old or something. She made a joke out loud and everybody in my theater started laughing, but she said, wow, this was really the feminist movie of the year. Everybody laughed because that's funny. And watching this movie, it's like, yeah, men are trash. This entire movie happened because Bear couldn't man up and tell his friend that he likes her. He ruined everybody else's life just because he couldn't tell a girl, I like you. Like the scene where Bear was sitting in his car and he called the number on the back of the item and he was on the phone with the customer service, if you want to call them that, and the guy was talking very nonchalantly and he was like, yeah, you might as well just kill yourself. And then there was a point where he put what I would assume is the real Nikki on the phone, and you could just hear her screaming and yelling in the background like she's in pain. That scene broke my heart, bro. Like, she didn't ask for none of this. Like, the girl Sarah getting killed that way brutally was terrible. Like, especially a few moments later when you find out she finally got accepted into a university that she'll never be able to go to. It's so many things about this movie in a good way that's terrible. Like, it really hurts when you think back on this movie and you start to put two and two together and you just think of all the moments where the real Nikki was trying to come out and she's asking Barrett to help her and he simply ignores her. Like, it was multiple times throughout this movie where he only cared about himself. Like that scene where Bear, I think he's trying to sneak out the house to go see Sarah, if my memory's correct, and then Nikki, she's in bed and she's like, the obsessed her is sleep. This is the real me. Bear, can you please help me? She was begging this man, Bear, can you kill me? And he looked at her and he's talking about what's so bad about being with me. It was one scene that was really hard to watch. I don't remember at what point in the film this took place, but it was a scene where Nikki and Bear were having sex. And Nikki was laying on her back. She's clearly not into it. She's just looking off to her left. She's just looking off into the distance. She's doing these fake moans and stuff like that as Bear is doing his thing. And just thinking back what we learned later in the movie about how it's basically two Nikkis fighting for control of her body, the real her and the one that's under this spell. She's basically laying there and the real Nikki has to just accept that this dude I don't like, I don't want to be having sex with is inside of me right now, and she can't do anything about it. Like, maybe this is too woke, maybe I'm thinking about it too deep, but in a way you can make the argument that this entire movie is a metaphor for a 4-letter R word that I don't know if I can say on YouTube. I feel the same way with that last scene. That last scene of the movie really broke my heart. So as we know, Bear took a bunch of pills, he overdosed, he killed himself. That lifts the curse, the spell, the obsession, whatever you want to call it. Nikki is back in her normal body. She doesn't know what's going on. She wakes up, she's surrounded by 3 dead bodies. Nikki in the real world is cooked. She is going to jail. All 3 of those dead bodies is getting placed on her. I'm sure her DNA is all over them. And so Nikki is going to have to live with the consequences of something that she didn't do. She had no choice in. She's going to jail for murder, probably for the rest of her life. And Bear, in a way, I guess, got off easy and he killed himself. And he's looking up at all of us right now, rotting in hell. As dark as this movie was, I really loved this. I really enjoyed my time watching this. The only real main complaint that I have is, one, we've seen this concept done a million times at this point, and 2, this movie was very predictable. Or at least maybe I'm a genius. It was very obvious from the jump that Nikki was going to be the person that killed Sarah. I saw that coming from a mile away. It was also really obvious that Ian and Nikki were either secretly in love or secretly hooking up with each other, because why are you taking her home all the time? Also, after that scene where he was on the phone with customer service and the guy was like, you should just kill yourself. At that very moment, I predicted Bear is going to kill himself, Nikki's going to wake up, and then Nikki's going to be the one that has to deal with all these consequences. I saw that coming from a mile away. So maybe I'm just the smartest guy in the world, but even with that, I love this movie. As of this recording, Obsession on Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 95% and a fan rating of 95% as well. And honestly, I'm right there with the both of them. I'm gonna give this movie a 9, which is an excellent on my scale. Honestly, I'm debating between a 9 or a 10 because I really enjoyed this movie, but I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna relax. I'm going to give this movie a 9. This is easily, between this and probably Project Hail Mary, this is easily one of my favorite movies of the year. I have seen online that some people are complaining about people like me and some of the other people in my movie theater that found particular scenes in this film to be funny. I thought they did that on purpose. Yes, this movie is serious. Yes, this is a very dark film, but you telling me you didn't laugh or crack a smile during that drunk Jenga scene where Nikki got up and she got behind Sarah and she pulled that chair out? You didn't find that funny? You didn't find it funny when Nikki taped the entire freaking door shut and Bear was struggling to get out the door? You didn't laugh where his friend Ian said, yo, give me $1 billion, and then money started randomly falling from the sky? You didn't find that funny? I ain't gonna hold you. I laughed at that dinner scene where she threw a fit and she got up and she was like, no. I laughed at that because maybe I have PTSD because I knew a girl just like that. Like, she would throw a fit in one moment and at the snap of the finger, she's back happy and smiling. It reminded me of her. Shout out to her. Good times. I hope you went to therapy. But that scene was funny to me. Like, I also feel like this was the director showing love to Jordan Peele with Get Out because it reminded me of The Woman in the Kitchen, but she was like, no. You know what I'm talking about? I laughed. I'm sorry. Maybe that scene wasn't funny, but in general, you get the point that I'm making. This is a very dark and serious film that also had moments that I feel like was purposely put in there to be funny. And that's okay. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. If you've seen this movie, well, hopefully you've watched this movie if you're watching this spoiler review, or maybe you're a serial killer. But what did you think? Did you love this movie? Did you hate this movie? I have not seen a single person say anything bad about this movie. So please, let me hear your thoughts if you didn't like this movie. Do you feel like this movie is also a metaphor to consent and things like that? Are we too woke to even think of it that way? To me, I feel like it's obvious. Again, this movie extremely messed up. But just let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.